Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back to show off a order, or should I say actually a couple different orders that I made through Sevared Records as part of my kind of birthday gift to myself last month. Took advantage of a sale that Sevared had going on. The first order I did, I only got like a couple things because I didn't really feel like spending the time going through everything, but they'd done a distro update and had some cool stuff that I wanted, so I just nabbed those two. And then I went back later on when I decided to do a birthday order for myself and just finally went through all the CDs, picked out some stuff, got some really cool things. Of course, I got a freebie. You get like one Sevared Records release, as long as it's like $10 and under, I believe. So I saw this in there and checked out a song from it. Thought, okay, that sounds pretty cool. So went ahead and added it as my freebie, and that is Deflessuary with From Feast to Filth. Brutal death metal band from Lancaster, Pennsylvania that was active between 2004 and I don't know when, because according to the Metal Archives, there was no definitive date when they split up, but they are currently split up. And this is basically a complete discography that Sevared put out in 2012. It contains 3 demos, 2 EPs, and they're tracks from a split CD that they did. But yeah, this is excellent brutal death metal, very old school sounding, really good stuff. I highly recommend checking this one out. Then we got a split here between Lividity and Warpath entitled Live and Split Open. Of course, I mainly bought this for the Lividity side because I love Lividity and I want to try to get as much as I can from that band. But this split was put out by Underground Movement in 2009. And of course, if you're not familiar with Lividity, they are a brutal death metal band from Decatur, Illinois, been around since 1993. All these tracks on here are actually recorded live, which I can honestly say up until I heard this, I did not hear any live Lividity stuff. I've never actually heard anything live. I've only heard studio material. But yeah, excuse me. Sorry about that. The dog was barking at somebody. But yeah, the tracks for Lividity were recorded live at AJZ Bandum in, I'm totally going to butcher this and I apologize, Vermelskirchen, Germany, on September 25th of 2007. And these guys kick ass live, just as they do in studio, just based off of these tracks. And then Warpath was totally new to me, never even heard of them. But after hearing these live tracks, I definitely want to check out any studio material they might have. I need to look into them a little bit more. But they are a brutal death metal band out of Dublin, Ireland. Been around since 2005. This is recorded live at Winterfest in Cork, Ireland, December 20th of 2008. Pretty cool stuff live. Like I said, I don't listen to as much live material as I do studio material, so it's not like I ever really think, oh, I'm going to reach for a live album. But, you know, again, I got this mainly for the Lividity stuff, and I'd never heard Lividity live, so this was my chance. Next up, got another collection here. This is Funebre with the Demos Collection, 1989 to 1990. Of course, Funebre, however you want to pronounce it, death metal from Finland that was active between 1989 and 1991. They are currently split up. And again, as I said, this is just a compilation put out by Divas Du Mortis Records. Just this year, limited to 500 copies. You have the Cranial Torment demo that was independently put out by the band in 1989 on tape, and the demo 1990 that again was put out on tape by the band in 1990, though for some reason they have them reversed. So, you know, you'd think they would put things in order, 1989 to 1990, but yeah, they got them reversed on here, but whatever, still kind of cool to have this because, you know, Funebre is just an awesome band. I love their album. So yeah, another one you should check out. Got 2 here from the same band, and that band would be Hemorrhage, who are a gore grind band out of Spain, been around since 1991. First off, we have Morgue Sweet Home. and this is their 4th full-length album put out by Morbid Records in 2002. This is actually a Brutal Rain Productions reissue from 2020. Have not had a chance to listen to this, but I have heard Hemorrhage many times before. Solid band. And then I got a split, which I actually bought a split with Impaled that Hemorrhage did at one point, but this one is actually a split with the Mexican Disgorge entitled Morgue Metal. And yeah, this was put out by Powered Up Records in 2011, limited to 1,000 copies. Again, another Brutal Rain Productions reissue from 2022. This one limited to 1,000 copies. Yeah, I have not had a chance to listen to this, but it's Hemorrhage, so I'm excited for that. And this will actually be the first time hearing anything from the Mexican Disgorge, so I'm pretty anxious for that. Next up, Maceration, a Serenade of Agony. And it was weird because this was supposed to be, according to the website, a 2 CD set. But it actually is just a single disc, which is fine. But, when there's a lot of bonus tracks, I tend to prefer those to be on a second disc, just so I can keep everything separate. And if I don't want to listen to the, bonus tracks, I don't have to, or I don't have to sit there and stop at a certain point just to listen to the full album. But I digress. If you're not familiar with Maceration, they are a death metal band from Denmark, been around since 1990. This is their debut full-length album, originally put out by Progress Red Labels in 1992, limited to 1,000 copies. This is a Punishment 18 and Sevared Records reissue from 2014 that contains 12 bonus tracks, mainly live and rehearsal stuff. And this actually features Dan Swano, the legendary musician from Edge of Sanity and Bloodbath and a bunch of other bands. He handles vocals and keyboards on here under one of his many monikers. This one being, I'm going to totally butcher this, bday. So yeah, have not had a chance to listen to this, but I do love their new album. So of course, I saw Sevared had this, and I had to pick it up. And last but most certainly not least, legendary band. Love this band. Some people don't. I do. I love anything this band puts out, but that is Mortician with Demo Number 1, 1990. Of course, like I said, legendary brutal death metal / grindcore band, originally from Yonkers, New York, now located in Las Vegas, Nevada. Been around since 1989. This is their second demo, independently put out by the band on tape in 1990, limited to 600 copies. This is a 2022 Extreme Music reissue, limited to 300 copies. Now, this is actually technically their first demo of studio material. So I would, and it even says demo number 1, but yet it's their second demo, because their first demo they ever put out, their debut, was actually a rehearsal tape that was limited to 30 copies, released in 1989. So yeah, first studio material we ever got from Mortician. You got the band members on the back there, and Extreme Music always does excellent with these reissues. This actually has, I believe, a poster with it. I think the booklet folds out into a poster, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. So, but yeah. Very cool to have in the collection. Like I said, Sevared, great label, great distro, a lot of cool stuff in there. So yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.